Hi, I'm Deb Johnson. I'm based in Sacramento, California. I've been in practice for 35 years. Um, I was served as president of the California Society from 2008 to 2009. Early in medical school, I was doing some oncology research. We were studying cell surface antigens. I was kind of excited about doing internal medicine and perhaps oncology. But I had a National Health Service scholarship, which was paying part of my way through medical school, and I had a 2-year payback. And I thought, I'm going to be in some rural area as a lone physician, and I should know how to sew people up. So I decided to do a plastics rotation at the end of my 3rd year of medical school. But the thing that really sold me was at the completion of my rotation, Dr. Laub, who was the chairman at the time, invited me to come on an interplast trip the following week because he knew that I spoke Spanish and he wanted an interpreter to come along. So he asked me if I would tag along and help be a Spanish interpreter during this charity mission. And I spent a week watching these guys provide surgery for free. And it was just life-changing. At that point, I said, if I can do this for the rest of my life, I'm switching gears. So that's what I did. But plastic surgery, although we have gotten a little more subspecialized, but at the time that I was going into it, you could do anything. You could work on all ages of people, all parts of the body, from from very, very fine microsurgery to gross cancer extirpation and reconstruction. So to me, it was very exciting. The challenge of every case was different. Every day was going to be a different day. I just loved the variety. One of my professors at Stanford was a fellow named Richard Jobe, and he was always learning new things. And he would learn something new. He would teach the residents. He would try to convince us to go visit whoever had developed that technique and come back and teach him some more. And he said, plastic surgeons are like sharks. We have to keep moving or we'll die. And so I think, to me, that was very, impressive that this wasn't something where you could go through your residency and be kind of one and done. You had to keep learning. You had to keep not only improving your own knowledge of plastic surgery, but also teaching others. And so I think that's one of the things that I really like about plastic surgery is the camaraderie, because it's a very collegial group of people. So my pathway to the presidency of CSPS really started with my senior partners, Dr. Fagella, Dr. Bruner, and Dr. Osborne, all of whom were presidents of the California Society, joined early on. Dr. Bruner made me the auditor, which is a young plastic surgeon's seat in the council. And I think when I was about 3 years out, and from there got involved in some committee work, got involved in the legislative committee, which I've been involved with ever since, and then became a counselor and kind of worked my way up the ladder, ultimately becoming president in 2008. It's really very nice to try to study the field, to try and figure out if indeed that's where you want to be. So by, talking to plastic surgeons, talking to the residents that are in your community, attending the regional society meetings, attending the California, joining as a student member of the California Society. There's also opportunities to be a student member of ASPS and a student member of the association of plastic surgeons. It also has a really nice, they bring, I think, 50 medical students from around the country as scholarship students to the association meeting. We also have scholarships to the California Society meeting. So I think that there's ways for medical students to get involved, and they shouldn't be afraid. They shouldn't be intimidated because because it's a nice family. Start preparing for retirement early in your career. Even as a medical student and a resident, you need to be putting money into a 401k. You need to start thinking about the miracle of compound interest and stock market returns. Kind of preparing for that continuation of your life, that continuum of plastic surgery and beyond is really important. And so I just encourage people to keep their options open and to keep their interests wide and always always take care of poor people and do good things for your community.